Hello, folks. Welcome back to Reality Check with Arvind Swaminathan. A lot has been happening in the last few days. Some of it welcome, and a good chunk of it not so welcome. First, let's welcome the Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand. It's about time. It's something that has been needed badly since 1947. I don't know why Nehru, in his dictatorial worst, insisted on a Hindu civil code when it should have been a uniform civil code. Anyway, Uttarakhand has led the way. I'm hoping it will spread throughout the country. I wish it would be done centrally, then it would have to be taken up by the rest of the country. Every state must then implement it. And believe me, it's necessary. We cannot have four different sets of laws based on religion or minorities or anything else. And then you talk about equality. You talk about democracy. It doesn't make sense. Or secularism. I just wonder what kind of a constitution do we have, what is it meant to be, and what has it been turned into. Anyway, but then when you got ignorant people in the opposition, and I mean ignorant, people who still seem to think that opposition means you have to oppose everything, no matter what. If it's good for the country, makes no difference. You must oppose it, must you? You have no rationality, no common sense. I mean, what kind of people are these? They're supposed to be adults and they're supposed to be legislators, people who make our laws. Does it make sense? It doesn't to me. Now, if you remember, a year ago I'd made a video on George Soros. And I'd said then, the Hindenburg report and such things, those were attacks against the people of India and the infrastructure of India, or Bharat. And you know, I'd said then, I'd warned then, there'd be many more to come. It's begun, in earnest. The opposition refused to go to the consecration of the Ram temple. Why? That told the whole country that they don't want Hinduism, they want to eradicate Hinduism. Just like Udayanidhi Stalin said, they want to eradicate Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism. Why? And then you say this is a secular country? Do the two go together? No. And yet, the entire opposition bloc, the Indy Alliance, didn't say one word against it. No condemnation, nothing. Which means they agree with it. Which means they want to eradicate 80% of the sentiments of the people of this country. Why? They want to replace it with something foreign, be it Islam or Christianity. You see, if it's Indian, it's no good according to them. You see the colonial mindset. You remember I said, the Congress party from Nehru down has always considered India to be their colony, not an independent nation. Nehru divided India with a Hindu civil code, then India on the basis of language. All the states are now based on language. Now, they're trying to remove our basic religion and religious beliefs. Again from the south. The Tugre gang, it simply means making India split into little pieces. Now tear India apart. It doesn't make sense to me, it never did. But the Congress and all these other parties, these Indy bloc or Indy Alliance parties, they seem to think it's a great thing. I hope the people in this country who vote give them one hell of a bashing, because that's what they deserve. You have a look at the economy. 10 years of UPA misrule and mismanagement. What happened? What was Nifty? Stock market I'm talking about. Nifty 50 stood at around 7,000, 7,500. What was Sensex? Around 18, 20,000. What is it today? In the last 5 years, in spite of COVID, remember, a total lockdown, and the trauma created by it, the upheavals created by it, in spite of that, what is Sensex at today? 71,000. Nifty 50 is at, 21, almost 22,000. Need I say any more? It tells you the state of the economy. People are investing in India, not smuggling money out to invest in foreign countries. NRIs and others and foreign investment institutes are bringing money into India to invest. Why? It gives very good returns. People are beginning to make in India. As I said in my book, during Congress rule, nothing was made here. Their policy was always, at best it could be called stagflation. You come up to a certain level and then stop. You just stagnate there. Any further progress is inflation. Higher and higher prices. This was what Congress gave us. They still don't have a clue. There's only one thing the opposition party, especially the Congress, is good at. That is disruption. They've never learned anything else. They've been disrupting everything the British did since the 1920s. They've been disrupting anything that the people of this country have been doing since 1947. Their attitude is let it come up so high and then stop. Why? It's their colony. Apparently they give the orders. We have no rights. You talk about democracy. Does it give us the freedom to do anything? In fact, Narasimha Rao, when he was Prime Minister, he made an absolutely clear statement. It was headline news all over. He said, if you feel you are clever, intelligent and capable, get out. We don't want you here. In this country, that is Bharat or India, we only want mediocrities. I shouldn't need to tell you, 30% of the millionaires in Silicon Valley are of Indian origin. What are they doing there? Why aren't they millionaires here? Also, it was fashionable and great fun. People who made millions here take their money, go to foreign clients. Why? They can relax, enjoy themselves. Congress policy never allowed that. Allowed them to invest it here and do well. Black money, tax dodging, tax evasion, shell companies, that is what Congress has given us. It's about time all this stopped. Now the reason why the opposition alliance hates the BJP government and Modi, wherever he finds these loopholes, he shuts them up very quickly. All their illegal and criminal funds are being blocked off. And their attitude is that they must be allowed to continue looting this country. That's what they claim. That's what they want. And if the people of this country give them that opportunity, well, maybe they don't deserve any better. Now, you see what else is happening. Manipur. This is the George Soros hand. Why? The free movement between Myanmar and Manipur Basically, what is it? It's the drug trade, the drug cartel. It's that golden triangle, or whatever you want to call it. It supplies drugs into India because the western border has been virtually sealed off, so it comes from there. Now we know that George Soros made a lot of money in Colombia, and he did it through the legal banking system. Think about that. It didn't just happen illegally and so on, it was through the banking system. What is he trying to do here? Why is he trying to spread drugs all over India? Now the opposition parties, especially Sonia Gandhi, great friends with him. Whether you like it or not, she was the co-chairperson of his foundation, which started off with the Burma Project, to remove the Burmese military junta and replace it with so-called friendly democracy. Aung San Suu Kyi, she was the other co-person, along with Sonia Gandhi. So don't say they don't know him. They do. Even further, another connection with George Soros is through Amartya Sen. You remember the Nalanda University? 2,730 crores spent. There's hardly anything to show for it. Where did the money go? 2. Amartya Sen is also part of the advisory panel of the Open Society Foundation. Manmohan Singh's daughter still works for them in New York. Can you be more anti-social than that or anti-national than that? Now, why are they so against the people of India? It beats me, it beggars belief. What has the Congress party and the Nehru family got against Hinduism, against Hindus and the people of India, or 80% of the people of India? I still can't understand this, unless they are rabid, radical, Islamic in nature. That is the only reason that I can think of. And we know Indira Gandhi was never Indira Gandhi. She was Indira Nehru, who married Firoz Jahangir Khan and then adopted the name Gandhi so that she doesn't sound Muslim. Does that answer your question? Rahul Gandhi calls himself a Janeldhari, Pandit. Now that in itself is subterfuge. Why? You see, a Rahul or an Ashok or a Suresh Pandit is a Hindu, maybe even a Brahmin. But a Salim Pandit, Muhammad Ali Pandit would be Muslims. They're all Pandits, but some are Hindus, some are Muslims. Well, take him for a medical test, he'll tell the truth. Now the other thing the India Alliance is doing now, Rahul Gandhi started all this. Caste system, caste-based politics, caste-based voting. Now the other night, for instance, and state-based. The other night, as I said, there's some stupid on TV who says, why are there no political heavyweights from Karnataka in the BJP government in the centre? Well, if those heavyweights are in the India Alliance, why would they be in the BJP government? Where are those heavyweights? And why do they have to be from Karnataka? The reason for Mr. Modi and the BJP's success is because they've managed to get hold of the art in their minds to put the right man in the right job. That is the art of management, not someone from this state, some from this state, from this language or that language, or this religion or that religion. Who is the best man for that job? You see what it has done for the railways. You see what it has done for the defense services, the defense production units, defense research and development. You see how much has been saved and how many jobs have been created as a result. And it's all being spoiled by Bangladeshis pouring into this country. Why? Because the opposition refuses to allow the sealing of that border. There are somewhere between 60 and 70 million Bangladeshis in India. What are they doing here? 98% of them would be illegal migrants. Now we got Rohingyas also. So who's settling them here? Who's bringing them here? There's a whole chain that helps them go all over the country. From Jammu and Kashmir right down to Tamil Nadu and Kerala. From Rajasthan right down to Manipur. How is it? How are we going to solve the employment problem if you keep bringing these people in and making sure that Indian people, Indian citizens, remain unemployed? Can you solve that problem? No. And yet this is what they're doing. All these so-called opposition people, all they do is disrupt. If the government wants to do something, they believe it's their job to make sure that the government can't. Even in Parliament, they do not allow these debates. They don't even allow the government to make statements. For instance, they kept saying, Manipur, why isn't the Prime Minister saying something? He better say something. It's not his job. It's the Home Minister's job, and he did make a statement, a big one, and the opposition didn't even want to hear it. Rahul Gandhi keeps saying the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has not given even a single press conference. He wasn't elected to give press conferences. He was elected to do a job which he's doing damn well. Better than any Prime Minister before. Let's get that straight. You see the state of the economy in 10 years. I will say only 5 or 6. Because the first 4 years just trying to find out where were the blunders committed by the previous governments. Where were the lacunae? Where were the shortcomings? What needed improvement? What needed immediate care? What could wait a little? All this takes time. Now he's had 6 years to set it all right, and he's made a damn good beginning. Let me reiterate, he has made a good beginning. More time is needed. Give him time and you see what will happen. You see, the entire infrastructure needed revamping and redoing, which is done. Now, things are beginning to move. Again, it takes time. One of the things he's trying very hard to do, and yet people are resisting, mainly the India Alliance, Uniform Civil Code and the CAA, Citizens Amendment Act or Act Amendment. You see, people come in and they get all these Aadhaar cards and ID cards and so on. And yet they've only been here 2 weeks. How? How do they manage it? And most of them don't even speak Hindi, even though they're living in UP. So where did they get these things from? Who helps them? All these guys have to be rooted out. I mean, one particular bunch of raid, the ED and the NIA, they raided 10 different states. That's how widely spread out that network is. And you will find a great deal of help from most of your Indie Bloc alliance. Now, the other main thing I'm hoping will be a success is the Uniform Civil Code. I don't understand what the fuss is all about. All you need to do is take hold of the Hindu Civil Code, substitute the word Hindu with Indian. That's all you need to do. Everybody, if Hindus have to put up with it, so should everybody else. What's the harm? What's the use? Why not? And one of the big reasons why this Ram temple, it has brought Hindus together out of their homes. They've begun to tell the whole of India that look, we're here too. We have rights too, both civil and religious. We're not apologetic anymore. We are stressing the fact that we also have rights and we want them too. It's not like just Muslims. Muslims so far have been demanding all sorts of things like halal certification, hijabs for their girls, this and all sorts of things. But Hindus have been keeping very quiet. Because of these past policies, they've been made to feel inferior, as if, they were born to be slaves and serfs. This has begun to get them out of that old colonial mindset. Now, when 80% of the people begin to wake up and get out of that stupor, all hell can break loose. Don't bait them. Please remember, Hindus have been suppressed far longer than anybody else, almost 1,000 years. They're beginning to wake up and flex their muscles. Don't mess them about. You know what happens when a quiet man puts his back up against the wall and he turns around and says, enough is enough. When he comes out fighting, he'll kick, bite, scratch and everything else that he can do. Don't bait him. Work with him, not against him. This is basic human nature. Because when that burst comes, there's no stopping it. Don't even try. It'll steamroll all over you. Anyway, thanks for everything. Thanks for listening. Take care. And please, when you see this, press the video link, not the picture. Okay? That way, things will be a lot clearer for us also. If you have comments, please let us know. Because these guys, they'll stop at nothing. You see this guy, all these characters from Karnataka and now Tamil Nadu and also Kerala, they're sitting with him. We want all our taxes for our own state. I mean, this is the beginning of secession. This is not permissible. Anybody who wants that had better leave this country, get out. You remember Rahul Gandhi in the Congress trying to tear India apart? Here it is. You might notice the Karnataka government is a Congress government. I don't think I need to say any more. West Bengal government is a TMC government. They're doing the same thing. They're trying to convert West Bengal or Bengal into Greater Bangladesh. Why? It's a very porous border and they refuse to allow to seal it. Fortunately, at least the Myanmar border is being sealed, or at least fenced. No more of this free movement. Bangladesh needs the same thing. And if the TMC government in Bengal wants to oppose it, maybe they should be removed. However, what does the opposition gain from this sort of rubbish? They have no track record of doing anything decent. You don't believe it? Okay, tell me. Where has Rahul Gandhi done anything? Has he ever looked after a state? Has he ever even looked after a company? No. If he has done, it's been an absolute flop or failure. What is Modi's track record? Where did he take Gujarat from nothing to where it is today in 10 years? What has he done for the people of India at the centre? Now, you put the two together, 10 years in Gujarat and 10 years in New Delhi. Compare it with Congress or UPA government. Congress before Narasimha Rao or during Narasimha Rao. Because what did Narasimha Rao do? The Places of Worship Act? The Waqf Act 1995? I mean, he's handed this country over to Muslims. Free of charge. So that 80% of the people of this country have been penalized and stomped on. Why is that done and why do we allow people to get away with it? It's beyond me. I mean, I just can't understand this. What have these opposition parties got against 80% of the people of this country? Why are they penalizing the very people who are paying you for it? They're the ones who are paying the taxes, which you're looting and putting in your own pocket or say sending it abroad. Think about it. Remember, there's a general election due. I hope people will understand this and vote not for the India Alliance, but for the people in power today. They're doing a damn good job. Let them continue. This is the first time we have a vision that goes forward another 20 odd years. Let's try and fulfill that vision. Let's get there. Thanks, folks. Time to stop here. Maybe a little more next time. Ciao.